Hi, fifth graders. Today we are going to continue our fraction review, and we are going to kind of pick up where we left off yesterday. So yesterday we changed from improper fractions into mixed numbers. Today we're going to see how we can go in the opposite direction and convert mixed numbers into improper fractions. So first we're going to review what both of those are. So remember that a mixed number is a number that contains a whole number and a fraction. So here is an example of a mixed number, 2 3/4. It has a whole number and it has a fraction. So if we were talking about candy bars, this would be 2 whole candy bars and then a candy bar that has been split into fourths, and we only have 3 of those 4 pieces. An improper fraction is a fraction in which the numerator is larger than the denominator. So here is an example of an improper fraction, 11/4. The numerator 11 is larger than the denominator 4. And that means that we have more than one whole piece because 4 makes a whole, right? The denominator of a fraction is always what tells you how many parts make one whole. So since we have more than that, because we have 11/4, we know that we have more than one whole, and that's why we call it improper, because it's not normal for the numerator to be larger than the denominator. So today we're going to take a mixed number like 2 3/4 and see how do we turn that into an improper fraction, where we have all of them as fourths instead of having whole numbers. So here's what that looks like, 2 3/4. We have 2 wholes, and again we can think about candy bars, 2 whole candy bars, and then 3/4 pieces. So you can see we're missing one piece here. It's gone. We ate a bite of it already, okay? If I want to turn that into an improper fraction, then I would need to take these whole candy bars and turn them into fourths as well. So what I would be doing is cutting them into 4 even pieces, just like these are cut into fourths. So we can see one whole is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4 fourths. Our other whole candy bar can also be split into fourths, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 fourths. So when we're looking at an improper fraction, we want to say, okay, well, how many fourths do we have? And so if we drew a picture like this, we could do that, and then we could just count them and see how many. We can also see that with our fractions. It could be rewritten like this. 2 3/4 is the same as 4 fourths right here, because that's one whole. And then another 4 fourths is one whole. So that's where these 4 fourths come from, the 2 candy bars that we split into 4 pieces, but we still have all of the pieces. And then our 3/4 that we started with. So we have 4 fourths, and then another 4 fourths, and then 3/4. So I'm going a little bit quicker because instead of counting each one, what I can do is say, well, if I have fourths, one whole must be 4 fourths, and then another whole number is another 4 fourths, and I could just add them together and get 11/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But remember, we're always trying to do things in a more efficient way with math. So the way we're trying to do this more efficiently is there a way I could do it quicker instead of rewriting each of these whole numbers as 4 fourths and another 4 fourths? And there is, because these are the same thing added more than once, right? That's kind of like repeated addition, which we know we can use multiplication instead. So what we've really done here is we've taken this whole number and we've multiplied it by our denominator, because we know that one whole in this case is going to be 4 fourths. So we're going to multiply that 2 times the 4, and you can see that right here. We have 4 fourths plus 4 fourths is going to be 8 fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So when we do this work, instead of writing this out all the time, we're going to take that whole number and just multiply it by our denominator, and then we will add the fraction at the end. So let's see what that looks like. So here is an example of what you're going to be doing. Your slides look just like this. So we are going to start right here where it says I can convert mixed numbers into improper fractions. So we are starting with a mixed number right here, and we're going to turn it into an improper fraction where our numerator is larger than our denominator. So right here, the first thing we're going to do is multiply the whole number by the denominator. Here's our whole number, 4. Our denominator is 6, so we're going to put that right here. The reason we're multiplying our whole number by our denominator is because what we're saying is we want to turn this into all pieces. We want it to all be sixth pieces. So that means if we're talking about candy bars again, we have 4 whole candy bars and we're going to cut each of them into 6 pieces. When we take our 4 candy bars and we cut them into 6 pieces, that means we're going to be doing 4 times 6 to see the total number of pieces with those whole candy bars. 4 times 6 is a math fact. I know that one in my head. It's 24, so I'm going to type that right here. So from my 4 whole candy bars that I just cut into pieces, I have 24 pieces. But I don't want to forget that I still had 5 pieces of candy bar out of 6 from another candy bar. I'd eaten 1 bite, 1/6 of it. I still have 5/6 left. So I want to add that. It says right here, add the numerator to the product of the whole number and the denominator. So I'm going to add that 5 right here because I want to know total how many pieces do I have. 24 plus 5 is 29. So now once I had my 5/6 pieces plus the 4 candy bars that I cut into 6 pieces each, my total number of pieces of candy is 29. That is my new numerator. So that's what I'm putting right there, 29 pieces. And our denominator stays the same. So you're going to notice those colors match right here. Our denominator is still 6 because we still had our candy bars cut into 6 pieces. That didn't change. So what we saw here is that 4 and 5/6 has the same value as 29/6. So you're going to do the same thing right now. You have 5 slides to do where you are turning a mixed number into an improper fraction. There are directions right here and it's labeled over here for you so you know exactly what to do, and the colors at the end match the colors that you're working with here. So you have 5 problems to do on your own. Then you're going to rate yourself and submit your slides.